We see you rifling through your YouTube channels looking for something to watch. Stop right here.
And give us both barrels.
I was getting to that one, but...
Well, as in that actual joke?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's embarrassing.
I was not even going to bother now.
Too many years. I was like, that's a good joke, and it's like, he's already... God. This is just, it's just embarrassing. You know, too many years doing this, Stuart. All of the years. All of them.
Yeah.
Hey, if that deserves a super chat, the same joke, entirely independently.
I was also gonna get into the whole, I'm the long rifle, you're the sawed-off one.
Oh. Although really I'm the sniper rifle because I'm thinner and taller. And you're the minigun.
Yeah, minigun.
I don't know. What we're doing today, Stuart?
We're talking about phaser rifles. They're just rifle weapons of any kind from Star Trek. Any race, any species.
Yeah, broader than just Fed. I think, yeah, there's some really, really good rifle designs. They tend to actually, you know, have to put more thought into them sometimes. So any alien race, any of the universe, well, any of the Trek universes, any of the eras, there's a lot you guys could throw in, and a lot of varied things. Some that it might have only appeared once, but like properly well designed, and some that appeared a lot that are not properly well designed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting discussion for sure, because there are quite a few varied and interesting ones. So, a lot of which we've had experience with, like holding them and stuff. So,
It's one of the rare ones we can speak from experience. Yeah, very literally.
yeah.
All right, I'll start showing you to the second.
Go for it. I'm going to tell you guys to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell icon to do all the things, and throw in some super chats with your rifles that you want to. Already got a few in, which is great, so thank you guys. We'll get to those as soon as Sam is done sharing the video around here. But, you know, if you want to help us out on a monthly basis, you can do so by clicking the join button down below or heading over to Patreon/Trekyards. Got something on my shirt. That's not cool. What the hell? What the fuck is it? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, welcome back. We're gonna have a good discussion, hopefully, and yeah, it should be exciting. So anyhow, there are links down below as well to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Go check those out. Trekyards merch and other stuff there as well. So lots of really great stuff. Please do so. Yes. But anyway, hit the like button if you can. I've already said that, but do it anyway. Pretend it's a target and you're shooting it with your finger rifle. I don't know. Dad jokes aplenty. I apologize. Yeah, so this will be an interesting one. And we did just regular phasers last week, so check that out. Just Starfleet and Federation ones, though. If you want to check that, please do so. And tomorrow we will be doing season 6 of TNG episodes. Yesterday was season 5. So again, if you want to go back and watch any of those lives, feel free. I know they're not as fun when they're not live, but you can go back and check that out as well. So, all right. Oh, and vote on the poll, guys. The poll is the first contact insurrection black tip phaser rifle the best design? Yes, iconic. Nah, there's one better. Or I legit don't like the design. Dun, dun.
It's not even the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the silver nose, I guess. The non-penis shaped, of course.
Yes.
There's only in like 4 scenes, and it edits between sequences where they cut from one rifle to the other. So I guess they had to get the rifle, walk out the room, wait for the Borg, hand it off to someone else, give them a different rifle, walk back into the room, and then back again. Important stuff. Yep, that's how it works.
It's fine.
So when I say phaser rifle, Stuart, what comes to mind first? Yes, I'm even going there with this.
Are you seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the TOS one is the one that pops into my head initially.
Use a fanboy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the one I think of right away. And then First Contact, that kind of style. Eventually, I get around to the TNG one, which I have in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not
Well,
the
actually,
first
you
thing
have
I
the
think of.
DS9 TNG version because it's extra fancy.
Yes, that's true. How about you? What do you instantly think of?
I think of rarely being used, if that makes sense. Phaser rifles are super underdone in Trek. A lot of like they stay around a while. They weren't keen to necessarily replace or whatnot. You know, they introduced TNG rifles. They stay into DS9 and TNG and all the times, which is fine. Then First Contact invents new ones because more actiony. They stay around for all 3 movies, give or take. And then besides that, you have the Enterprise one. You know, so it's a lot of like rifles kind of stay. We'll upgrade phase and tricorders, but once we get rifle, the prop we've spent money on the prop. And aliens tend to have more interesting designs, he says, because especially the TNG one, they're logical, they're simple. Aliens can be whatever, right? They can be wacky, wonderful, weird shapes, no semblance of A to B. There's just this is cool shape, so they can often be more interesting designs. But you know, Starfleet would be iconic for a reason, right? Because we are slightly biased for Starfleet, and you certainly think of Insurrection with the amount of just love fest for seeing a rifle, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, not necessarily used enough. But then again, it's a tactical weapon. That's not necessarily what you want to associate Trek with. Oh, and I also think of the rock rifle from Star Trek 5. Once you realise it just fires, it's compressed air to fire rocks, and that's what it is. It's a rock rifle. It's like, oh yeah, it's what it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's see what we got going on, guys. Classic for real, $5. We really got to start with Beverly's phaser rifle at first episode of Picard season 3. I'm sure the Commander Cocking's favorite. Get it? No? Is there a joke in there somewhere?
I guess.
Oh, cock. It's because she's got to cock it. Cock it. I got it now. Good job, Classic.
So what do you think? It's one scene rifle, which actually, is pretty reasonably good screen cap considering.
Thought it looked cool, but the cocking action is just annoying and doesn't make any goddamn sense. So we've talked about it. It could be multiple things. That's fine. It's probably older stock, you would think, at this point, just by its design. But yeah, I think it's rather nice looking, and it's just the honestly the First Contact phaser rifle. So
yeah, it's as if some guy just had this prop and they modified it. What amuses me is that obviously I've had a proper First Contact rifle for going on 15 years now, and the torch at the top is obviously cast resin, and you can see in this it just looks to me just resin at the top. Like there's not a working light, even though it had to be great in that sequence. So they probably just either pulled from the archives and modified it, or got a fat. You know, they didn't necessarily make this from scratch. I think if they had done, they would have made a new version, because it wouldn't be super difficult to sort of carp a little bit and then make the shotgun action. I suppose. I don't know. It seems unlikely to build a whole new one and not be more different, because the First Contact rifle can't cock its handle. So if you're going to make the same rifle now a shotgun, you change the rifle, but they didn't. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you put all the effort in, you'd change it more. So it's probably reuse something else.
I haven't watched the scene in a while. Is there actually a slide that goes back and forth when she cocks it?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a segment in the rifle that is it's a hand grip. So there is a detail, but then they just dislodged it and made it a shotgun thing. As you can see on the edge, as an LED, each one representing a blast. But the thing has no more power than normal rifle. Probably less power if you think. It can't do wide beam, it can't do long range, it can't... You know, it's just, I guess, a civilian model, identical but shittier.
Yeah.
You know, so I assume I'm going to review this partially for how powerful it is and what it can do. because it's more than just the look, right? You know, because
Yes,
some things are kind of crazy. I mean, B, because it just seems impractical and a bit silly. Like at the very least, cut the front off and make it sawn off rifle. If you're gonna go shotgun, make it dumb, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
or double barreled phaser.
yeah. I don't know. It's just illogic, and it's cool until you realize it.
Yep. Let's throw that in B there.
It's just making a good thing worse.
Yes.
And it would have been fine, not to harp on about it, but had they had her shoot it normally, and then she like goes this, beep, 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 and then now it's shotgun mode, and then it actually doesn't recool. You know, imagine like the New Hope ring stun, like that bit of phaser rifle, like it destroys a lot of stuff. Like you could make it make sense, and it just didn't. So.
Yes. And yeah, they can't see the chart.
So I was busy finding the next thing.
That's okay. Yes, guys, you were supposed to be seeing it. Sorry. There it is there.
Classic rifle, but worse.
So I'll leave that up while we're reading the next one.
Mark says the young has too strong a bias towards TNG. Who has a strong bias to TNG that's young these days? I feel like the very old have a bias to TOS, the medium old to TNG, everyone else, everything else.
Yeah.
Something you'd say the young has. Oh, Bradley, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be against reviewing adding Elite Force rifles to this.
No, that'd be fine.
Because not many video games have rifles. They got some rifles in those games. So if anyone wants to throw in for some Elite Force 2 phaser rifles, they're pretty cool.
Yep.
And Mr. Captain, yes, because they're longer. I feel better.
All right, so that one got put at B. Sergeant Montgomery throws in 625.
Hey!
Number. TR-116 projectile rifle. All right, let's throw that in.
And he says, also by presidential decree, I had 25% tariff. Hey, thanks! 25% extra.
No, I didn't read that for a reason. I already addressed that in the comments.
Oh, no idea. But yes, I don't know. I wasn't here. Up ever you want. Any more super chat is good. The Breen rifle.
Is it?
Yep, with a different front.
Damn.
Which is fine.
I actually really like the TR-116. It's got a good look. It's also a really great weapon because it can shoot through walls. Having the transporter emitter is kind of an interesting idea. It is projectile based, not energy based. Mm-hmm. I assume it might have two settings though, because it looks like it has an upper and a lower barrel.
Well, one's the transporter.
One's
the transporter, one's the projectile.
That doesn't make any sense though.
Well, no, because it fires out, then it's beamed as it's fired.
Yeah, so that's one barrel. It would be the transporter thing would be in the tip of that barrel. The lower barrel might be an energy weapon.
That's as far as I knew.
Yeah.
I'm 95% sure it's no energy, but I'm sure you could be modified.
Well, I'm sure it's not. I'm just saying it would be cool to have that.
Mm-hmm. Like, can you beam energy? Yes? Maybe? It's a good question.
There's something for your fan films.
A
big plasma weapon or a phaser bolt is coming towards you, and you beam it to the other side of your ship and take out an enemy on the other side of your ship with their own weapons. Just saying.
And can you recall any things actually holding the one of these? Because we're very lucky to hold the one.
I can remember. Mm-hmm. It's very comfortable, actually. I got a good picture of me with it. I think there's the handle, part of the handle is missing or something. There's something not quite right at the back. If I recall correctly, but
I don't recall enough.
Yeah, I do have a picture of that, but it would take me forever to find it. So, but yeah, it's a good story. It's a good episode, and it's a fantastic weapon.
And Devereaux, if it's in the show, I mean, right? We're here to compare designs and logistics. Yeah, this is a funny old one because it's the fact that it was a reused prop. I mean, also they didn't pick a Cardassian rifle and change it. They picked something you can kind of believe is Starfleet-ish, but also it's so radically different, and you can see why it didn't catch on. Because it's a use case piece. It's like having a rocket launcher, right? 95% of the time it's not useful. But yeah, I think it was developed as anti-Borg because it's meant to be they don't want to adapt as the same to physical projectiles. I think that's the point of it. And certainly if you've been aboard a ship and been a shoot a Borg security nodule through walls, right? Although you would think that as soon as you put like emergency force fields up, you couldn't beam through it. So it really is a stealth weapon until you're discovered. Then you just lock the person in the room and then you're stuck. But that's every weapon, right?
Yeah.
So it has a limitation.
Well, it's very much it's a assassin's like sniper rifle. That's its purpose. So it's not going to be like you're going to do it from a distance and not be detected and get out of there. It's that simple.
Well, it'd be interesting. Given that they do need the glasses, the see-through walls, otherwise it's sort of not very useful. I wonder how you'd use it without that. If you could kind of say, right, there is, if you had like 5 people with them in a row and you had some enemies in front of you, if you could kind of guess and be, like hip firing, but sort of do math in your brain. I wonder, right? Hyper specialist.
Yeah.
My gut says B for it is too long. It was awkward to hold, but it's super specialized and fun, but not useful for most things, but still quite impressive.
Yeah. So it is one of the most unique ones for sure with its features, but I'll put it at B. I was going to put it at least A, but
we'll see some contrast, right? I'm trying to factor in all the different elements, not just design here.
That's why I said A, because it's so specialist. It's got such a cool feature that it kind of is out of the B realm, but
also that's why I said it's so specialist that it's not useful in most cases and is easily stopped versus a normal phase rifle which can do a lot more just in most situations, right? So it's clever but limited. Oh shit.
Olivia, $5. Oh my god. 8 TD Stewart. I don't know what that means. Can you review the thumbnail gun top left? That would be the Cardassian phaser rifle.
Yes.
Which we've also held. And when you look at this thing, and I watching the show, I was like, what the hell is with those handles? Those are super uncomfortable and unergodynamic. But when you hold it, it is the most comfortable goddamn thing to hold. The trigger is your thumb, because your thumb rests in a slot at the back. And there's no trigger for your finger. It's just the thumb. And it is really comfortable. It is surprisingly so. And it's got that kind of almost Stargate Egyptian look to it. It doesn't really... It feels different than a lot of the other weapons that we see, but it's the Cardassian aesthetic is really comes through in it. So it's a cool looking weapon, and like I said, very comfortable, surprisingly so.
Yeah, it goes against your perceived thing, but your hands just kind of rest in the curve. Yeah, it's definitely for a race that is not. I wouldn't consider them arty. There's a certain elegance to it. It feels designed with a level of art in mind. Not necessarily like complicated art, but there's a flow to it that isn't just... I mean, a Beretta or a Glock or a Colt is just several boxes attached together, right? There's no art happening. It's just how small and thin can make it. This has got some... I don't know what the plating's doing. I don't know what the... You know what I mean? It's a bit more cool. Didn't love it from the show originally, but it's certainly grown me from holding one. It's quite big, but not too big. I don't know if it could do anything more than the normal phaser. But it is kind of a mean, right? I think the normal hand phaser feels a bit lackluster. It's very thin. This kind of does have that meatiness. But yeah, it works well. It's a good all-rounder that looks pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, I was remarkably surprised by it.
We went in with low expectations. In fairness, we're like, this is going to be. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
does help. So what are you thinking? The pantheon of phaser rifles. Our first alien one. Used quite a lot. Killed quite a lot of Klingons.
Yeah. Let's go see for Cardassian because it's just kind of all right.
Okay. It's slightly hard to relate to because you don't necessarily know what everything does.
Yeah, and like you said, at first glance, it just doesn't appear practical, even though it remarkably is. So,
I think you could easily argue it into a B for like interestingness. So I think it's right on that border, but we do like a bit of Federation.
yeah, I don't know if there's anything that would.
I think what pulls it down from being a B also is how things can get caught. Like you're trying to add like functionality in, throw over your shoulder, always lips that get caught. It's a relatively small thing, but we're trying to add all different things together.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Barry F, $5. Sci-fi gun should have lots of spiky things to make it look intimidating. Otherwise, the only purpose of it is pulling the trigger.
Bold. There's a few guns like that, but I like a form follows function approach as well. But if you're going for full alien, then yeah, you know.
Yeah.
The more weird, the better. I mean, one of these rifles, a slug controls it.
Yes.
Cannon. So, I mean, you know, all for that.
All right, next up we got Classic for Real, $5. Someone said Shax's Cannon. I'm paying for Shax's Cannon.
I did Google that and nothing came up, so someone need to quantify what that means, because Google said nothing. So you guys let me know what you mean.
Yeah, no idea myself. So.
Got to tell us.
Schmo Buddy, $5. DS9 phaser rifle. Ambidextrous integrated targeting system and foregrip.
Is up there? I guess that's maybe the...
That's the TNG one, isn't it?
Yes. They are slightly different. Where would be a good version of that? That's probably reasonably close. Might limit myself to side views, so. And... Now, how's this different? Stuart O'Buddy O'Pal, the TNG one.
Well, this one's got the detachable flashlight on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there's not too many differences.
Nope.
If any.
I know, ironically, it actually hides the scope. But
Yeah.
I mean, right? Sci-fi on off, it's fine. And I mean, conceptually, could it not go through it? Like,
Yeah, probably.
I mean, if it's a sensor, just have the sensor bypass. I doubt the thing's literally going forward. So if it's using something in the front of the gun to scan forward, you wouldn't need the literal line of sight, would you? Potentially. So yeah, how do you feel about this one you know quite well? How do you feel about the one with the added bulk?
I always thought this was fucking ugly. And I wondered why DS9 kept using it even after the first contact one had been out and stuff. But then I got the 3D print of it. And again, this is really cool to hold. I actually requested that my trigger be moved. I have my trigger on the front grip because if you hold it there, it goes the length of your arm, and it's really comfortable. You can fire it really well like that. I don't like the one on the back because it's way awkward to hold. So it's got some problems in that regard. It's fine. It just doesn't feel the best to fire it from the back. It's more naturalistic for me to hold it from the front, use that trigger, and because it just fits in the crux of your arm so well that you don't need both handles necessarily. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool now. It's still ugly and not over designed. I guess it's just the TNG phaser hand phaser kind of lengthened, and and that's fine. I mean, that's what a lot of these are. So
Yeah, it's
I
funny.
like it.
It's funny mention the trigger and such. I prefer it on the back because then you're leading with the front, so you're very much like angling, and then you can really aim with it and you fire. Versus that, you'd be sort of putting your whole body forward. You're really pushing yourself. There on your, you'd be very very hip fiery. So I like it as intended. Shockingly comfortable, because these weapons aren't meant to be aimed. They're meant to be just held. You gotta reprocess your brain because they've auto aim.
Yeah.
So you just chill, and then you don't, or you Cisco during your arm, and they are sort of light enough in theory to do that as well. But yeah, you're not meant to like that, because why would you start? You can, but you're not meant to. So it's a different sort of weapon, and when you sort of embrace the featureness of it, you get behind it. Do I like it more or less with this scope? I like it if it was a scope versus a light, if you know what I mean. Like, if this was like an improved scope, like the First Contact one, which has both, cool. But it's just a light, It looks good. I wish it had more functionality. But it does help to balance out the shapes. So I guess, is less more? Is the question, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the TNG one. Like, we'll bring it in to look at it. Yeah.
Same prop with a new piece.
Yep.
And that's fine.
So I don't know if these should really be differentiated, because they're the same thing.
I mean, same thing with the First Contact rifle, right? It's the First Contact rifle with a blowback and a different LED light, right? They're variants, because they never use the TNGs again after they swapped to DS9. So
yeah.
But do you like the simplicity one more or the added bulk? That's really the question.
I like the added bulk, and that's all removable as well. Like, you can just make it the other one. So better to have an extra piece that you can take off than one that you don't even have the extra piece and you can't change. So
I mean, I think had we not held them each, it'd be lower. But I kind of want to give it a B for it's just oddly works. And it's like with other things, you get it when you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these are like that. You look at it, think that's cool, or that looks awkward, and then you hold it, and it's a totally different vibe. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you just get it. There's a certain flow. I do think it looks rather good on screen. Like, I've shot with one a couple of times, and it is obviously nostalgia as well of like, that's the TNG rifle, but that's a lot of why we make fan films, to kind of re-see the visuals in real life. And it's rather fun, you know?
Yes. All right. Classic for real, $10. $5 for the First Contact. Picard uses a new rifle in the holodeck against the Borg. Uses ammo similar to the TR-116. And $5 for Shax and Tiana. Use a similar rifle also on the holodeck. Well, it's just a Tommy gun, isn't it? Like,
yes.
That's the same thing in Piece of the Action.
Yes.
So it's been used a few times in Star Trek.
So what do you think of the Tommy gun in Star Trek?
It's era appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want me to say? It's a Tommy gun.
I like the Tommy gun in general. But is it our first F though, because it's not a very good sci-fi weapon, you know?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Takes the phaser out of the phaser rifle discussion.
There's some other film, TV, or whatever where they do turn real weapons into sci-fi weapons, and I wonder if that was how that would be.
Like, this is a energy firing weapon?
Yeah, like an alien race wants to hide on Earth, so they modified the same body, but to now be a laser weapon. But it's like 95% the same. Yeah. Alright, and this is Shax's cannon from Star Trek Online. which I have seen before, but never like seen it with you before. Thoughts?
Ah, it's kind of cool actually. Love the grip. It's like I forget what the real gun is that has that grip like that, but cool idea to hold it like that. I've seen them and they look very comfortable. I like that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Looks rather powerful.
Yeah. I'm guessing so. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It does fit, but just like with the giant space bazooka in Insurrection, it's again hyper specialist, so it doesn't need to look normal. I'm assuming it's a like the Aliens Pulse, the auto one, like a giant pulse, mega shooty, not a giant end drop, like a lots of smaller ones. Pretty good. What are you thinking? Where does your heart go, Stuart? Where does your heart go?
I kind of want to give it a B. Just for its design, because it feels like something from Lower Decks would look, you know. I didn't even know this was a thing till now. So,
like I say, it's like judging a bazooka or a minigun. They're not, you know, like it's not the same standardized thing. I think the fun with whatever you're gonna put it, I think it is simple and basic. Well, that's because it's in Lower Decks. Had them in a physical, probably look different. Does it look Starfleet? Sort of. But also you can imagine that Shaxx might actually, like, not necessarily design this, but he might work with somebody to kind of get this made personally. Because he's like, I'm big enough to hold 80 pounds of weight. What can we make that's gun-like for 80 pounds? You know, I can see there being a logical progression of him getting this made.
Yeah.
Or it's like some prototype from 10 years earlier. He's like, yes, I will use this. Shoves it in his, shoves in his cabinet, or locker and pulls it out. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Benjamin Stone, 5 pounds.
Thank you.
Kazon phaser rifle, firing at someone using a trumpet with a coffee filter on the end. It deserves some points.
Damn.
Thank you for the description, because I wasn't sure. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like, doesn't it? Oh my god. Well, just like everything Kazon, it's not the greatest. Yeah, it doesn't look intimidating at all. I mean, when it's being pointed at you and all you can see is the front, then yeah, maybe. But other than that, it feels very skeletal. It feels like it's missing its covering. And it doesn't feel like it would be... This is an odd choice. And I can't say I've ever clocked seeing this on screen.
Why clock the hand props more than the rifles?
Yeah.
It's just the same thing but longer, right? It's so similar.
Yeah, this is not fantastic. It is. I gotta give them credit for thinking outside the box and making something that looks different. So good on them. But wow.
Would you agree it has a dumb charm?
I don't know if charm is the word I would use.
Okay, reset my...
would be.
Okay, add another word to dumb. How would you add the word dumb?
Is it interestingly dumb? Yes.
Okay.
Uniquely dumb? Sure.
Okay. Like, I think it fits really well with the Kazon because they barely can do anything because they were a slave race, no resources, stole everything, and yes, they sort of know how to use. They sort of know how the phaser works, and they can kind of reverse engineer, build new ones. But it's just 6 pipes, a handle, and an emitter, and that's absolutely as little as needed resource-wise to make it, and it works. And it tells you how simple a tech can be. But also, I vibe it's like NX level tech. In terms of it just is a phase energy beam emitter. There's very little to it, but that fits them to a T. Does it look good? No. Does it make sense? Yes. Is it interesting? Yes. Definitely a D. But it's interesting in its own sort of logical way.
I don't think it deserves an F because it is creative and
It makes
interesting
sense,
enough.
right?
Yes.
Like if this was a Klingon rifle, no. Basically anybody else, or this would work for Kazon or Pakled, right? The blunt simplicity of resources, for me, that works for each. And all I think when I look at the rifle with this sort of discussion is, your brain says, oh, those pipes get hot when you fire it, so that's not safe, right? It's that sort of like ape brain, like, oh, dangerous for piping. Well, no, because sci-fi aliens, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. Interesting. I never thought we'd be talking about that today. That's why you guys are awesome. Fleet Paw is here with $2. Never fear, Fleet Paw is here. TR118 for the win. 118.
I think he meant 116.
What do you mean 116?
I think he's just supporting the cause.
Thank you.
But I mean, a laser version would be interesting if they upped it by 1. Exactly.
Classic for real, $2. If no Shax's cannon, Badgie rifle in Enterprise Stormfront. Oh, bad guy rifle.
Yes. Now, if I were to have you draw the bad guy rifle from Stormfront, what would you draw? Because I did find it, and a very clear shot. What would you draw, do you think?
No idea.
Describe Stormfront, Stuart. Do you remember the episode?
It's the Nazis.
Yes. So I'm about to make your day with the official... This is like, what, like a 27th century time weapon? Like, not time powers, but it's by a faction in the Cold War. So this is a very, very powerful weapon, Stuart. So is everyone ready for their first review reaction? Live! On Trekyards. Are you ready, Stuart?
Yes.
Whabam. It is, of course, as you know, it is the Nakul Energy Carbine Rifle. This alien carbine weapon was used by the alien race, the Nakul, in the Star Trek Enterprise 2 Battle Stormfront. It's long, hard foam energy rifle painted silver with bronze highlights and barrel, and it sold for $600 previously. Your thoughts?
It's pretty cool looking. If it had a handle, I understand how they would hold it by looking at it, but other than that, I think it's got a really elegant design. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting like a German rifle. Okay, now this one gets, I guess, bonus points for kind of not having a handle and having a unique kind of almost like a staff design, but not, because it's just a rifle minus the handle. So put a handle on it, I'd be more behind it. But I got to give them bonus points for being creative and not putting the handle on it, so it's not something that's typical, if that makes any sense.
100%.
Plus the color scheme is kind of cool. It feels a little too Earth-like, though, a little too Starfleet in all of its design, even the grip, like the texturing of the grip. But it's fine. I like it. I do.
Yeah, this one's a weird one because it is, when I look at this, I see, and it isn't, but I feel like it looks like a first contact rifle. It's been massively modified. It's got, and you're muted, it's got rough, like you can pull definitely direct parallels piecewise, but not literally. I'm wondering if that's intended to be inspired. Because you could easily shove on the grip and you'd be like 85% there, well, 70%. And it would be a very apt, like, 2500s phase of first contact rifle. Like, it would, you know? But how are you firing this?
I don't know where the trigger would be. But again, same thing with the Cardassian one. When you held it, the trigger just made sense.
It's not here. Here goes the buttstock. I mean, I guess squeeze something. It'd have to be.
Maybe there's a pressure plate or something.
Yeah.
It looks like a crutch. Like you can walk like with, use it as a crutch under your armpit and then just.
Yeah.
But
I think the bronze is inspired. for whatever reason, that works really well together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the color looks great.
I mean, I feel like anything lower than a C, we're getting to we don't like it so much territory, but I don't love it enough to say it's a B because it's not that good. So I would say a gentle C, and everyone's like, never seen it before in my life.
Yeah.
But if you add a handle, as you say, like add 2 grips, B. It's just, you know what I mean? It has that non-ergonomicness that hard to explain.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Small body. Oh, wait a minute. Classic for real, $5. Okay, $5 for the rifle. The very bad guys used in Enterprise Season 4, Episode 1, Stormfront. Don't forget.
Yeah, because I only put it on 2 before, so we got that to the 5.
Gotcha. Schmobody, $5. Klingon Disruptor Rifle, Star Trek 3. Nails the look. Pretty sure it sticks around for a while as a prop. Get there in just a second.
Pretty iconic.
Dun dun dun.
Yes.
I mean, I love that it's just the regular pistol with a stock added.
Yep.
But earlier you were talking about things catching on things. That tip.
Yeah.
Putting that in a holster is not great.
Hence no holster for a rifle. Huzzah!
Yeah. Also, though, that's why they changed that design to have the more beak-like. No, but this definitely has a cool Klingon look, and it is just, and there are guns like this in real life that are handguns that you can just add a stock to make them more stable and steady, right? So,
and we've talked about many a time, what is a rifle really doing? It's just got more battery, more range. Well,
yeah.
Obviously that isn't just a stock, it's a power pack that goes into it, and if it's also got some supercharge elements that can create, they can like push the charge motor max setting more, so you can disintegrate with that. Like it feels obvious, and I don't feel like Klingons need range very often in general, so just having more power, more shots. I mean, especially as it's a pulse weapon, saying a do 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 do. Is it pulse? I guess it's both, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, just more power. It makes a lot of sense to me, and it does work with the grip. And there's even a great, scene with actually, click click, so you literally see the structure of it.
Yep.
Well, I wonder, because they're not going to keep making new rifles, but they might make more pistols. I wonder if they kept making the pistols to be rifleable, or if they only had like 3 rifle bits. They just said, we're just never going to use more than 1, 2 in a day, or they like all of them were rifleable. Because you'd want the rifle version if you want the rifle, but if you need both parts, you buy both parts separately, and it's not interesting as a stock by itself, But yeah, how do you feel about the Klingon Star Trek 2 phase-out rifle design?
It's very Klingon.
Does it bring you glory?
Sure. I don't want to give it an A for iconicness.
Well, yeah, I want to give it an
A. Yeah.
I think it looks cool, and it is in a very small, lowercase way. Feels kind of like the Kazon. Some pipes with an emitter. Just happens to have a really sexy handle and a better designed structure, but it is very, very baseline, very similar.
Yeah. It's got a uniqueness that elevates it to A. And it's not something they keep tweaking and adding to and changing. It's just something simple, right? So
how Klingon. They got it right in 1 and they just never...
Yep.
Never messed with it much. And definitely underused, because I can't remember that many instances of using it. I mean, some, but they like their hand-to-hand combat, as they often say, so a rifle kind of goes against that entirely.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I want to see a TOS Klingon version of that though.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the original disruptor.
I like
Classic
that.
for real. $10, $5 for the rifles from TOS: A Private Little War.
Mm-hmm.
Flintlock. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And $5 for the one Kirk makes in TOS Arena. That is, well, it's more of a cannon, but yeah, that'll work.
I mean, Shax is canon. I think that's...
Yeah. Yeah, so a flintlock or not flintlock rifle. My dad has a few of these black powder rifles. They're fun to like load and to shoot. They're very loud. A lot of stuff going on with them. But yeah, it's gonna be an F for this one because it's not a phaser rifle. So.
Oh, there's definitely some TV show that I know that I've seen, which converts these things into NG weapon. Oh, it's Q. With those pig monsters. Because they have flintlocks or laser weapons, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But yes, F, because it's not so much of a, of a rifle. But interesting shout. I've always quite liked a flintlock.
We have Kirk's cannon.
Nope. All the Google pictures are crap, so I have to find the episode.
Oh, okay. We'll get there. It'll be an F as well.
Well, hey now. It cannot kill a Gorn very easily. Give it some credit.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on.
Get your Gorn on. Go Gorn. And so once you go Gorn, you never get back.
All that glitters are diamonds being shot out of the end.
Ouch.
Grab yourself some bamboo. Actually, you can turn that song into a thing about Kirk making that weapon. Grab yourself some bamboo. Cut, get some rope. you could work lyrics to that. I like that. We should do that.
And now my Windows Explorer's crashed, so I'm going to go into the next one because nothing's working.
Oh, no. Okay.
Doesn't like me doing all the different tabs and such.
Okay, let's see. We'll pull it up when we can, Classic Trail. By the way, in the meantime, hit like. 41 of you here, 30 likes. That's great. Let's get up to 30. Vote in the poll. We have 46 votes.
Oh, yes.
Let's get to at least 50.
How's that going?
Good. The answer you want to win is winning, so.
Oh, everyone hates it. Good. Excellent. All right, there you go.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yep. That's a cannon, all right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Strong F.
Yep. An iconic F. Perfect. Next up, we've got Mark Lawrence, $5. How about a Romulan disruptor rifle? Is that this one?
That's the first one, because there are two. But you can be forgiven for not remembering the second one, because, barely in stuff. And that's okay.
I always thought these looked cool. Especially just the way the Romulans stand there and hold them. Like, I just love the connecting piece at the bottom. It's not necessary. You don't need it. But it adds something uniquely interesting to it. Otherwise, it is rather simplistic. But it works for a Romulan rifle. So,
are you calling Romulans simple?
No.
Okay, good. No further questions, Your Honor.
Perfect. And this reminds me of something else that I can never really play.
It's like the V rifle, isn't it? V?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But red. Isn't that red?
Don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting look. I don't know. I don't know much else to say.
I think I had some sort of video we looked at this, and remember the comment I said was it felt like a prop. versus a weapon.
It's because it is.
But the Klingon doesn't feel like a prop; it feels like a weapon, because it looked even the in the show looked painted, and the tube is just a clear painted tube. You know, the Romans, they didn't know how much they were going to be used. They were not necessarily a hero villain race. And it does kind of feel as a resin painted prop. Most things have go beyond that. That said, it's totally a decent design. It feels very. We haven't got that much money, and we're not quite at sleek fabrication yet compared to the other one, which is very, very sleek. But very appropriate for TNG, and you could certainly see it being. Like if you less detailed it, you can make it in TOS, and so I could see it being a TOS Romulan rifle, just make it wide. You know, it wouldn't take much, which is both a negative and a positive. You wouldn't necessarily say it was very Romulan-y, but then you can't like say because it should be green. You know what defines those things? We just happen to associate Klingons with red and black because of their leather and their internal lighting. So this is a little bit removed from that, but I'd say it's a happy C. Nearer D than C, but I think it's a perfectly like it feels like a functional piece of kit, even though it looks like a prop as well. So many things.
And Benjamin Stone said, "F, it worked. Kirk's cannon did kind of work. It didn't kill the Gorn. So did it work? I don't know. But it's also not a phaser rifle, so unfortunately, yes, it's an F still.
We don't make the rules."
We kind of do.
Since when?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're just the commander. We don't make the rules.
And this is why he's an actor, everyone. This is why he gets all the roles.
Fleetpaw, $5. The Kazon rifle is what happens when you tell rednecks or primitives to build a gun that works, and looks don't matter. Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I agree with the last bit.
Classic for real, $5. Okay then, $5 for the human bad guy faction that's on Earth and Enterprise Stormfront.
I was confused about that because that's just. There isn't a faction, they're just Nazis, which isn't a faction, it's just that implies aliens. What do you think he means by that?
I have no idea. I never know what he's talking about.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a third faction in play. There's us, aliens, and all of the humans. Yeah, please clarify.
Yes, clarify.
I guess technically Siddiq, he'd be fourth, but he doesn't bring guns because he. Well, I've no memory how he gets back. Oh no, he's on the MX. That's how he gets back in time.
Yes. Little People Pets, $5. Herodian hunting rifle. That thing was huge.
It's freaking amazingly big, yeah.
Not sure which one that is. So. Oh, that one. Yeah. It is a beast, for sure. I love the detailing on that handle. Those ribbed elements. I think that looks really cool. Definitely feels like a Predator weapon, even.
Yeah. That must have been slightly in their minds.
Because the Herodian are very similar to the Predators. I think it looks really neat, actually. I always love those handles that have that cutout part like that are still like integrated into the stock. So
it be a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember the scale of it. It is absolutely giant. It's like half their height. But what I would interpolate from that, it's that it needs to be entirely encased in armor, because these guys will go weeks in combat, weeks after a thing, and it's last through every single version of every situation, right? And so it needs to be armored. And I would actually, as I'm saying that, what about not this direct, but what about Xenomorph, right? Who can stab and crawl and attack? This thing needs to be attack proof as well, but also therefore a huge battery. I believe it does a couple of settings that we see in the show. It does a couple of things. But yeah, just, I mean, you know, feels almost like a giant shotgun. Almost.
It does feel like a shotgun, yeah.
As I say that, also feels like the Men in Black weapon, but it feels smaller. So it's kind of a really fun hodgepodge of generic sci-fi yet classic retro lines. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's sleek, yeah.
I also love how the front part's kind of offset and up, but yet the main barrel, if you will, and the top of the stock are all in line, but the back part goes down. Like, it's got quite a unique look to it.
That reminds me of the Terminator 2 shotgun, how it kind of goes just down.
Yeah.
Has that visual. I mean, I say a strong C. I think it's missing some detailing for me to get into a B, and it might be like glowing bits and such. But what do you think? That's my gut reaction. But what are you thinking? Or is it so unique and powerful it could be in B? Tell me what you're thinking, sir.
I was thinking it was B, personally, because it is such a cool look. And yes, feels completely alien, yet also fits in the world of Star Trek. Some don't really have that vibe or feel for me. This one does, so I was thinking B, but...
Yeah, go B for dramatic. This thing is going to be deadly.
It is going to be.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Ozzy, $5. Kirk's rifle, season 1, episode 3, where no man has gone before. Then the rifle was used and lost in space. Yes, and a few other things.
There you go, Stuart. You got it in there.
Yeah, baby.
People supported, and you got it in. Huzzah!
I got one of these upstairs. I love it. It's got a very unique look, very 1960s sci-fi. Never seen again in Trek, which is a bit of a shame. But it's not super comfortable to hold. The stock isn't really a stock. It's more of a handle. It also twists. So you're meant to, like, hold it like this. Like the back it can turn. So you hold it like this. So it's not really a stock that you put against your shoulder. It definitely feels it's from the time period it was created in. It does feel during 1960s, like a holdover almost from the 50s as far as sci-fi goes. I just wish we would have seen it more or seen different iterations of it during TOS. Would have been neat. But I mean, iconic wise, I really love this thing. It made an impact for the one scene it was in. And it's kind of remembered for that, which is an oddity, let's be honest. Also, the rotating barrels, it's got 3 different, just kind of like the cage. It's almost like a holdover from the cage ones, the hand ones that had the rotating nozzles. The cylinders rotate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those like holy grail I own one now props, because it's just so, like, you wouldn't say that was a Star Trek weapon. You'd say it was a, like you say, 1950s 40s sci-fi Buck Rogers fun weird thing. And yet it is. And that's the charm, right? It's 100% canon, 100% it is what it is. And yes, I think it's sad that it got abandoned's the wrong word, but
sidelined.
But just like the idea behind what it could have been, that, I don't know, all the different things, but just even just like copper plating. And luckily, quote unquote, luckily, the Discovery rifle actually does take a lot from this, which is great. But it could have done with, like, you know, a more functional rifle version in the main show. But I guess Gene probably thought, you know, don't need a rifle because the phasers do absolutely everything.
Yep.
Same logic, right? Yeah. Same logic.
Something we've said a lot.
And I wonder what makes this one, like, if you were now going to extrapolation brain, what does this do you think, in universe that a phaser can't?
That's a very good question. Nothing. Can shear off the top of a mountain, but I guess a handheld phaser probably could too. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've got to imagine the rotating barrel does something meaningful. Cause I would, like, part of me thinks it looks like almost like a plasma torch. A plasma cutter, right? Because a big phaser could just be a big tool. So it could just be designed for, but like, almost like the one from the cage itself, burning through metal, burning through rocks, a tool, and therefore each cylinder rotates. Like, one has gamma rays, one has laser, one has phaser, right? They all do something slightly different, and it's a tool. And he's like, I need to get the biggest phase energy based thing we have to fight. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, as a weapon, it's weird, but as a tool, it's like I can, because then like the emitting to be certainly like the has to be so far away so it doesn't radiate back. Like, I can see some logic, right?
Yeah. Good for like miners, like
Yeah.
hollowing out like tunnels and stuff.
That's what I mean. It has a certain mining laser vibe, but you would want those on the ship, and you could use them as weapons, right? And I would see why you'd think to get that. Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah.
Right. I'll let you place it, Stuart, because this is absolutely one of your lovely ones, and you do own one, and that's pretty special because that is not a common piece in the Pantheon. I wouldn't even know where to get one right now because people don't tend to make them.
Yeah, we saw one in Vegas, which was nice.
Oh God, the hero one. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh. There we go.
Put it in S because I feel like it. Because I really like it. Anybody want to fight me?
I mean, if people want to put in 5 to lower it, he's not going to complain that much.
But I will still complain.
Yes. You should.
All right, Barry F, $5. The TNG Type 1 phaser. You can carry it in your coin pocket or wherever, whatever that pocket is for. It's actually for a pocket watch. That small pocket on jeans. Just saying. Well, this is an F because it is not a phaser rifle. This would have been great last week this time, but we already looked at it, and I don't know, I forget where we placed it, but
higher than we necessarily would have, because it's actually rather neat.
Yeah.
And I would like a hero one, because they are, as with a lot of these things, if you get a good replica that's the right size, it makes sense all of a sudden. As
yes,
if that was
that's
intended.
the right size on screen there. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, a little bit silly. Yeah, unfortunately, yes, it should be enough because it's not technically. Although, I mean, does someone call it a hand cannon at some point? Because, I mean, if it can do everything a phaser rifle can do, in a sense, it is a rifle of some sort, you know.
Little does everyone know that the TNG phaser rifle is just a shell, and this gets docked in, covered up with a panel, and that's all it is. Just to make it easier to hold.
I mean, let's be honest, that would be rather cute, though, if there was a scene where the big TNG and there's like 3 slots for the wands to come out, or there's like 2 2s and 3 3s. And it's just a shell, as you say, it's just multiple small ones. So it's like a whole armada worth of weapons in one. That's really, I like that. So, I mean, and I bet you could, I mean, it could fit in, right? So someone could 3D design it so that the wands come out. Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Yep. Classic for real, $5. Thanks for reminding me, Sam. The rifles accused pig monsters use.
And boy, I tried to find them shooting lasers, but I couldn't. I couldn't find the frame, and I was trying to look. So maybe they did it once. I remember it, but it's so hard to find. And it turns out they're not focused on very much. So all I had was a mid. So I'm slightly annoyed with my yay, but also couldn't find a good frame. Because a lot of these shots you can see are, you know, prop pictures from auction sites that are clean. Not, you know, try and find a shot that's not in motion. So this is now a laser weapon, Stuart. We can't use that argument anymore. It's now a laser rifle.
It's a D then.
Okay.
It's a laser weapon with some style.
Yes. Q style points. I agree. I mean, let's be honest, I could also take all the sci-fi weapons all the weapons I have, the Stargate props, and just have them be laser weapons for a fan had I wanted, right? Wow, the MP5 that shoots laser beams. Uh-huh. Oh, G3 laser beam, yeah.
Yeah, why not? It's there in D. It's hard to see, but it's there. All right. Ozzy, $5. Kirk's cannon is a D.
Oh, there you go. He wanted it one up. Fair enough. It is pretty iconic.
It is. I'm gonna have to put a sideways arrow. No, it's still gonna be an up arrow. It's fine. Perfect. All right. Classic for real, $2. P.S. Barry F., you're not an idiot. We appreciate you here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Am I missing something? What is happening in the chat? Yes. Nobody's an idiot.
No. I mean, us sometimes, of course, but apart from us.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys make us go. Thank you so much for all the support. As you guys know, and Classic, you madman, of course. The madman be with you. And also with you.
And also with you. Yeah.
There you go.
Shmobuddy, $5. Bajoran phaser rifle. Unique look compared to most. It's a chunky boy.
Yes. It really is.
It's funny. You were
Did
mentioning
we hold
earlier
this one?
No. I don't recall holding this one.
Sorry, you
funny earlier.
Yeah, fine.
You were mentioning that the Cardassians aren't very artsy with their design, and the Bajorans are known for their art. And this weapon does kind of show that a little bit. Like, it's a quite uniquely designed weapon, especially for a rifle. I mean, it's just the bulk is not in a typical rifle fashion. It's all up front, and then it's got some really eccentric kind of just supports and stock, right? So it's an odd one. I mean, I'm not the biggest Bajoran fan. It just feels like a larger handgun type deal because of the way the handle is. Like, I can't imagine this being rifle sized. Be like that big. It's just like a really big, bulky gun. I don't know. It's got a sling though, so of course it's going to go over your shoulder. So.
And it's funny because I see the reverse. I know how big the handle is, and so I know that the extra stock is just fucking giant. Like, it looks silly on screen sometimes. Often the Bajorans are lady people, smaller actors, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's intentional or not. They're not Klingons, right? Where everything's kind of proportioned. So they're kind of big for the actors. And it's like just really chunky. It's just big and chunky.
Well, I like the grip at the front. Like,
yeah,
I can.
It's very
imagine
focused.
This is very comfortable to hold.
Yeah, 3 different leather bits. It's actually a pretty good design. I prefer it to the phaser because it isn't just the phaser. The phaser is very similar in terms of design, language, but it's all a different piece. Everything's differently constructed. Kind of actually very similar. So let's take just the front bit, the phaser bit, right? In your mind, it's like it's as different as the Orville is to the Dreadnought, which is like elongated, pointier.
Yeah.
And in fact, has a third ring thing. It's very similar. So I actually prefer this to the phaser. I guess, I don't know, the stubby nose of the actual hand phaser. I like the pushing out bit. Yeah.
Does it have RCA cable plugins in the front? Because it looks like it.
Look.
Sound, video. Oh, sorry, video left and right.
I don't know if you know, Stuart. Apart from the Titans shuttles being jazz musician based names, apart from that,
I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Well, you're welcome. Apart from that, Bajorans love air guitar. So they've invented air guitar controls into every bit of their tech. So really, there's 3. You see a little gold button at the top. You spin that, and at the back, little string things come out that you can go ding, 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 and then you just plug it in at the bottom, and then you go ding, 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 and it becomes a guitar because it turns air guitar into real guitar. And look, it was a season 3 development, but I think we'll all agree it was a good thing to spend 10 million on. And that 10 million might have been a scam by producers to shovel money to the Cayman Islands, or to give Bajorans air guitar features in their rifles.
They do love their, they are artisans, so their music, their art, cool. Well, for that it gets an A because that's just freaking awesome. Weapon and air guitar for when you're bored.
This rifle annoys me because Bajorans aren't great. Nothing they have is particularly interesting, but this kind of works beyond that. But it is freaking giant. I know how big. I'm kind of okay with a B. I think did you just say A?
I did.
I know what you mean. So I'll accept an A, even though part of me is like, but it's Bajoran, and it's like a bit, but there's something about it, right? There's something about it. It's yeah. and it's more artistically right than the Klingon one. Like, has a really good flow to it. I just rather the Klingon one, maybe? I don't know. Gosh! You make us think, guys. The hell.
They're both cool in their own way, for sure.
Very different ways as well.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of anything Bjorn, really, but I kind of always liked the look of that.
Better than the hand phaser. Hopefully someone will put it in for the phaser version, the alien phaser. Not the biggest fan of that. But I think it's time for the poll, so we can do another one, Stuart. I asked, is the first contact interaction phaser rifle, which is not even on this list yet, the classic version, the black tip phaser, the best design? Again, not brought in yet, although similar stuff. 65% say yes, iconic. 31% say nah, there is one better. And only 4% don't like it. Which I'm glad I put that in, because I thought it was a interesting note. Very interesting. And wouldn't it be lovely if CBS actually made all of these props makeable and buyable? If for like $250 you could buy a resin or a plastic, like any one of these things just from the Star Trek store. Imagine a world.
I know.
You know, $250 per rifle, that's not unreasonable, right? That's not too bad.
No, I pick a few up for sure.
Maybe 500 with full lights and sounds and some metal. Yeah. I'm sure the Playmates, all the phasers were throwing, like, you couldn't keep them on the shelves for a while. You know, like, they're hard to get now. Just make the goddamn... like, how hard is it to make that TNG rifle? It's some boxes. Right? Back to you, sir. I'll work out a new poll in the meantime.
Okay. Fleet Paw, $5. The Shark Phaser rifle from the 32nd century. Hated the hand phaser, but liked the rifle variant. I'll get that in just a second. Hold on. It's going to do a thing first. Boom, boom. All right. I assume that's this one because it looks like a shark. Wow, does it ever look like a shark? Yeah, I mean, compared to the hand phasers, this is fantastic. But again, why so far in the future do we still need rifles when you can just use a hand phaser that can do all the same things? Yeah, it's fine.
Do you remember when we saw this?
Nope.
Thank you for... I had to Google this and find it. And a great transition. So Burnham, it is a hand phaser that transforms into a rifle.
Perfect.
So it already addressed your problem. It's actually a really good transition. It's just sort of like nudges it forward and sort of like... But it's so quick. The show said it's a very good transition. And it's when they're in the redress sets in the Romulan ship, fighting Morn Lock, for like 45 seconds for the hole and they get flung to space. I think it comes out once in the season, but yeah, I think it was introduced in season 5. I mean, it's a very faithful faithful rifle of the phaser, right? It's the phaser elongated with a first contact style grip. I mean, you can't get more faithful. Is it interesting? Not really. Is it sleek? Yes. Is it futury? No. Is it a rifle of the phaser? Yes.
Does it look like a shark? Yes.
Yes.
It has the fin.
Yeah. And it is kind of cool. It is from the phaser. You can just extend it.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool.
Because, I mean, certainly, since the phaser comes out of your wrist, the transporter emitter thing, then short range, easy to move, and then you want to have long range stability. Yeah, I mean, it's great.
I kind of want to give this high marks. I kind of like it.
It has that elegant simplicity, right? Now, I think you do this some more detailing, but it was only used in like a little bit. I mean, go for B. I think it should get a
at least, yeah.
Effective simplicity.
Good call out, Fleet Paw.
Yeah, because that was hard to find. It's a really dark set. Yeah. Oh, Benjamin, good shout there.
All right, what is next? Classic for real, $2. Yes, I mean the Germans from Stormfront.
Which there is now a shot of.
There is. There it is.
There she is. There she is. Is that your favorite rifle ever?
No.
Okay then, F.
Is it a Sig Hauer? I wonder what kind of gun
I
that
assume
is.
it's a Sten. Is that the name of it? I know what I mean. That's the important thing.
As long as you know what you mean. But no, it is going to be an F, unfortunately.
Yeah. But it's nice to have non-laser variant laser guns represented in this iconic list of icons. Thank you.
Classic for real, $2. Surprise yet to see a dressed up Nerf gun. Yeah, my buddy Sky has one of these that he brought to the London Comic-Con last year. It's pretty cool, actually. It's very comfortable to hold. It's cool looking. I'm not a big fan of the color scheme, obviously, but hey, and also being half Borgified is kind of a neat idea and feature, but should be able to pop those off and remove that. That'd be cool. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool, fun little toy. I hate that it says Star Trek on it. Would have preferred if it said Starfleet, but even then. So yeah, it's going to get a D from me because they're trying.
Yeah, I was shocked. I saw this in the wild in a store. I'm pretty sure I sent you a picture when I saw it because I was genuinely shocked. Yeah, I remember it being relatively limited at the time, and relatively like they made this and they made the Aliens rifle, and that was far more accurate. This is good, but yes, to modify it to be not Borgified is quite annoying. But I have seen versions of this repainted, but I already have a rifle, and B, it's not exactly cheap to be inaccurate and it's very plasticky. If I recall, it's very plasticky feeling, is what I heard from the reviews. But it's a Nerf gun, right? When it's not much else. But it's different. It is a unique version. It's not quite all the other things. I was tempted to buy it in the sense it was right there. I think it was like a £88, so let's say 150 Canadian. I'm like, that's still, yeah. It's like, but it was on sale. It's like, well, yeah, but sale from very expensive to expensive is not necessarily good.
Yeah, I'd like to get one if I could find one, but
not that price. I mean, if it was like 60 Canadian, that's a steal, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think D's fair. And guys, if anyone wants to put in for the Elite Force 2 rifles, and most people probably know that they're like pretty interesting. I think I like them all. So you know,
you have options, people. Classic for real, $2. They're not flintlocks, they're steam lasers. Sure. Benjamin Stone, £5. Going opposite to my usual F goal attempts with the Klingon assassin rifle from Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country.
Did we hold this?
Yes. And it was quite uncomfortable.
Very long, obviously.
Very long, and the stock was very not comfortable. It was not a good weapon to hold. And yeah, it has again like a skeletal feel to it. It doesn't. It almost looks like it has a skeleton theme with the way it's designed. You do have the classic Klingon stock or butt stock there, and the handle as well. Other than that, it's just high-powered sniper rifle look. I think the stock is meant to be extendable.
Well, the whole thing comes apart, so I assume.
Well, yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. But I'm just saying, even in this configuration,
it'd have to be, yeah. What do you think the purpose of it is versus a normal phaser? Because a phaser could totally have made that shot, right?
Yeah.
And given their phasers are their rifle, well, I guess it's a stealth rifle more than a rifle, right? It's designed to be secret, not designed to be, you know, they couldn't just get a phaser, and so obviously I asked my question. It's there to be disassembled and assembled in a briefcase, which itself can be stealthed.
Yeah. I don't know. It's exclusively for assassinations, I guess. It's a ceremonial assassination rifle, which is fair because Klingons like their ceremony.
Hey, thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Join in for these lives. We do them. You guys help us go, and yeah, and we do them because of you, and you guys let us do more.
We do multiple ones a week, Don. So join us. And I wanted to address Freighter ANPV Pales SMH SHM. MP40 is clearly S tier. Not in a list of phaser rifles, it isn't. I mean, enough said. Well, this is cool. I like seeing the spy nature of this, like broken down into a suitcase, being assembled, was a neat thing. I don't know if it's necessarily practical in the future to do that. But hey, like you said, if a hand phaser would have done the same goddamn thing. But getting that past security in the same briefcase would be just as easy. So I don't know.
Well, that's not untrue. Yeah, it's so functional, but I would not say it's aesthetically pleasing.
No.
I get everything about it, but I think had I had some level of control, I would have given it the classic red highlights, like almost reversed the stylings, that whereas black is for certain pieces on the normal rifle, have them be red. Like, do something else. But I can definitely see parts of the cowling would be red. Like, it would make sense if it didn't look Klingon, so they wouldn't be able to tie it back to the Klingons. But then don't have a classic Klingon stock with an extra curve, right? It's all the things and none of the things. And it is too long. It is too long. What do you think? It's cool to see another Klingon rifle. They are few and far between. But I'm kind of vibing D, because I don't think it works fully. But do the details deserve C? That is my question to you.
I would personally put it as C.
Go for it.
For the details.
Yeah.
But,
and we've held it, so we do kind of know.
Yes.
But also it works in the scene, so yeah. Interesting. I would not have guessed some of these. This is interesting.
Indeed. Classic for real, $5. The rifle Hollow Seska uses in Voyager. Worst case scenario, since it's the only one that fires backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I found a good frame. Your thoughts?
I have no idea. Don't remember it. Don't.
Well, it's a first contact rifle, but in like season 4, which is awesome. Used by a Marquis, which is weird. But when I was finding this reference shot, 2 minutes ago, I know she's an actress, and they've never used rifles before necessarily, so I think it's the first time. The way she's holding it is crap.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Like, it looks like it's just a big tube.
Yeah, it does.
And she's awkwardly holding it.
Yeah, it's just wrong. And it's such a quick moment, and then she gets fully phased and gets killed. But it looks real dumb, held the wrong way. I've got this great picture that I took with Robert Duncan McNeil. Same rifle, me in Stargate costume, and same thing. I just had Tim Russ and Kate Mulgrew. This is the last time she came to the UK before Orange is the New Black. She hadn't done many conventions around the time. And both of them are like, rifle! Duncan McNeil's like, oh, I'll hold that. And he holds it like an item. And it's like this, but worse. It's like, well, you know how to hold the rifle properly, but if you're a pacifist, you don't want to hold it like a gun, you want to hold it like a prop. And the same with the Stargate guy, entirely wrong, and it just makes the picture look silly. But I had the guy that plays John Crane in Farscape, and Ben Browner, and he grabbed it and went tactical the P90. He was instantly in the zone. Okay, lad, you know. But yeah, some actors don't want to do the gun stuff, which I get. Anyway, D for death. But it is a funny one. It is the first only suicide shoot back rifle. Yeah.
Sure, one-time use.
One time, well, yeah. Yeah.
D for death. I like it. All right.
Great episode.
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $5. Just to make Samuel happy, LOL. The new phaser rifle from First Contact with the black barrel. It looks great. I loved it. It shot pulses too.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. Janeway phases the macrovirus and Worf pulses the Borg and then hits him. It's the third time I looked at this rifle, Stuart. But now the real one! How do you feel about this now you've just reviewed rifles for the last hour and a half?
Wow, this is just beautiful. Such a nice, sleek look. Everything just comes together. The design is fluid, looks comfortable, looks simple. Incorporates the flashlight slash. This is also probably a targeting thing on the top.
Yeah, the back has a reticle.
Yeah. So it ties into the TNG one. Does this one have the retractable seatbelt strap in it?
It should do. If it's a hero one, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally from a car. And that's okay.
Yeah. No, I like this one. This is absolutely... I want one. What is the one up top, then, that we have floating up at the top there?
That's the Mark 1A. This is Mark 1 or 3A. That's the 3B. That's the original shoot version, which had the different front. This is the reshoot version, or second shoot, which had this, where they... Oh, sorry, that's the Nemesis one, where they chromed it.
I kind of like the Nemesis one, too. Yeah, I like the shapes. I just like the shape. It looks really cool.
Yeah, for me it feels properly designed. They really thought, right, we're going to design a whole new rifle. It's going to be the hero. I mean, talk about, the movie, First Contact, and this is going to be in front of all the actors' faces. So it needs to look really, really, right? And yeah, it bounces. I mean, it is a bit long, but it's a rifle. It's very comfortable if you've got the well-weighted one. Obviously, the one I have is properly scaled. I've held fan versions that are smaller, and it feels like a toy. You've held the one from here. Like, it is meant to be chunky.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yes, of course, there's a giant penis at the front, but you know what? That's okay. Could it have done with some more silver detailing further forward? Maybe. But also, you can sort of see the logic. Maybe that barrel is removable, and you can kind of see the seam lines. They could add a new one. Right? There's implied details. Hand grip's great. And having the shoulder strap be in the back is fun. And yeah, the light is very, very good. And yes, it's a straight evolution from TNG, which is wonderful. I mean, obviously it's an S-tier because it's the most designed rifle they did, and it's a great one to have. And I was very proud when I got my kit because you just can't really buy these. 3D printing's easier, of course, but to know the scale is difficult.
Yeah, I want one.
But it's funny, our actor Mark is like 6'2", and the rifle is very long. It's like half of Emma's height. Get round about, which is ridiculous. So sometimes you have scenes where in the rifle, and he'll hold it and then put it on his arm, like they do sometimes, and he's like almost touching the ceiling. Because it's really, like, you can't frame that. I've not got enough physical space in the studio to do that, because it's that tall on tall. Yeah. Wonderful piece.
Interesting.
Yeah, Mark.
All
I mean,
right.
yeah. And it's funny enough, Mark, a phase rifle talking of, if I was to get the Picard season 1, 2, and 3 phase rifle, it was obviously designed for 7, and 7's a smaller lady, so the rifle's undersized. It's great for her, but I've held a replica and it's like, this is really small. Now, it makes sense, it's like a pulse version, but it is too small in my opinion. But someone like Emma, it'd be perfect size because it's undersized. So, who's designed for helps.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you guys to hit the like button. We're 42 likes, which is great. I want to get up to 50 of those, so if you haven't hit like yet, please do so.
Like Spike,
also,
right now.
Hashtag like Spike. Yeah, I haven't done one of those in a while.
Duh!
And also vote in the poll. We have 35 votes. The new poll is the TOS phaser rifle iconic? Yes. It's okay. Or don't like it. Sorry, Stuart. Wah, wah, wah.
Everyone is officially apologising if they click that.
Fair enough.
Hey, football.
All right. Data's got... Oh.
No one's putting like iconic alien ones in besides the DS9 ones. Like, there's some really good Enterprise ones. You know what I'm thinking of. There's some pretty good alien ones that have not been touched at yet.
Yeah. Data's got $5. The rock rifle from Star Trek V. Weapons were banned on Nimbus 3, the planet of galactic peace, but they fashioned their own. They did. We talked about it early in this live. It shoots rocks. It's basically just you could make this yourself. It's just a tube. It's not even a handle. It's just a bent piece of pipe on the end, and it's got a canister, a CO2 canister that, yeah, high marks for innovativeness and creativity.
I kind of like it.
You don't? You kind of like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I do too.
Because it's in Subject 5 has some really good ideas, and they don't really show this enough to be noticing it. But once you appreciate, it literally just fires rocks. That's really clever, because why is a bullet if not a little rock? Very clever. But there's never like a shootout in that film. Like, properly, right?
They're shooting at Kirk and crew. You just see them being rocks hitting them.
Like, I gotta wonder, is this a one...
Dirty now.
Is it like... It's like a musket, it's a one shot. You sort of...
Oh yeah, I think so.
I feel it'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Because there's no, like,
Yeah.
container to put rocks in. Like, how do you load this, first of all?
Yeah.
Gotta get rock the proper size. That's probably pretty uniformly shaped, so it doesn't jam while it's being propelled out. Yeah. It opens up a whole new bunch of problems, but...
It's pretty fun, though. You know, so, I mean, I think this is just... okay. It's not a good design, because it's not really a design, but that's the point. It's a fun design. What are you thinking? Oh, buddy.
C.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking C and feeling a bit weird about it, but I you know. Yeah.
C for creativity.
Yeah. Boy, I really wish we had, really wish Shannon had like another, like, 2 million.
Yeah.
Like, what could he have done without the limitations? I would love to have seen.
How embarrassing that the Kazon rifle is underneath one that just shoots rocks. Poor Kazons.
Yeah. But it's less of a design, so it makes sense. Sorry, less of a design. It doesn't make sense. There you go.
Manly.
Much better.
Classic for real, $5. The Blast Tech E11 fires phased particles and is a rifle, so there.
And of course, you know what he's referring to, don't you, buddy, pal?
Star Wars.
It's great. We've done several videos on it. You've just not seen any of them.
Not yet.
In essence, it's great. Although in fairness, it is just a Sten or whatever gun, so you know, lower points for creativity, I think.
Yes. Where do you want to rank it?
Oh,
I kind of want to put it at A, but
yeah, I was thinking
said all that last bit.
I was thinking A though, embarrassingly. I think we've got to give him 1. You know, we got to subvert expectations and ruin his fun by actually ranking it seriously. Ha ha! Ha ha! We did it, Stuart. We win.
Fleet Paw, $5. Compression phaser rifle looks really uncomfortable to hold and use. Still looks sick though. I kind of like the compression rifle look.
Boy, is it crazy.
Yeah. Especially from the top. It's shaped like a ship, like a fighter, or like one of the ships that Wesley and them used in the Academy. It's got a weird shape from the top, which is quite unique. That handle doesn't look super comfortable at all, though. But again, we said the same thing about the Cardassian one, and where'd that get us?
Yeah, it's so impossible to judge this one. I think we held one of these.
I think we did too, but
my confusion is not. You know, Pixar didn't happen, so I'm gonna find us holding one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did, but no, it's got a unique look for sure. It definitely steps out away from the more classic rifle look and does something different. The back just looks simple. Does this have like a forked emitter as well? Like they
Yup.
split? Yeah,
Straight out of Cardassia Prime.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
interesting. Side note, I just went on the phase rifle video, so go watch that now. It's a really, really good video 8 years ago. And then there's an hour AI generated video summary underneath it I've never seen before.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of our old videos have that.
This video features a discussion about Sergeant phase rifles, specifically focusing on screen use props from the show. The hosts compare and contrast the feel and design of various rifles, including the Roden B molded phaser first contact phase rifle and the TR-116, a unique weapon with the transportable function. A Roden B... Oh, Roddenberry. Roden B.
Can you actually copy the link for that and put it in the chat so people can check it out if they want? That was a fun video.
That was a very fun video. Although, no, we didn't hold that rifle. But am I just thinking I know it? Because it can't be uncomfortable, right? Because it wouldn't be made that way. But
I seem to remember seeing it there.
yeah.
I don't know if we just saw it there and didn't hold it.
We would have. We would have.
I know we would have. But
I think
there was stuff in the case that we didn't.
Yeah.
Really
I
touch, so.
think the problem with this rifle is it's just cumbersome as hell versus uncomfortable. But I would like to get one in the sense of it would look very impressive on screen, but I want it to be the right scale. And I've always thought, I think this is an easy fix, but the back bit, the fact it has like compression, it feels like a CO2 canister that's just shoved in the back. Because why does it go from a pointy front, a square middle, and a curved back of a tube? I don't understand that.
It's a compression rifle. It's compressing particles of energy. I don't know.
That's what I mean. You say it makes sense, but it's a weird choice, and it's so antithetical to the one from TNG. It's weird.
Barry F says the recoil will kill your shoulder. Problem is, there's no recoil with these energy weapons generally. I mean, some of them might have some, but there's no need for stocks like shoulder rests in most of these. Some of them have them, but they're not needed necessarily. Just for steadying and. But yeah, most of them have like auto targeting and stuff like that, which again negates the need for that. So.
Well, I assume it's the stock's also about the way you want to more comfortably shoot. You know?
Yeah.
And probably the ultra long. I would assume that I have no evidence whatsoever. But I would assume that distance gets exponentially less effective. Therefore, if you actually want to go long range, it's worth having a bit of manual control potentially. I don't know. I don't know, because it can't be auto aim for like 2 miles, right? That's silly. Now maybe open field you could do that, but when are you open fielding, right?
Yeah. This one for me is probably a C still.
Yeah, I felt you could make it a B so easily. It's B for creativity in terms of weirdness. Yeah. But I'd agree. I think it falls down a little bit. But also, if we held one in our living memory where we can't remember what it is, we might like it more all of a sudden. You know, I think that might be a bit
very likely. But there's a reason they didn't use them on much, I think, and that's probably one of the reasons they weren't super comfy.
Yeah, I also get the impression that they're more brittle. Well, the first contact rifle is very stocky. You ain't breaking that. Whereas there are elements of this I could see them sort of snapping in transit or hitting on a wall. Like they feel more. I don't know. That's just me. I mean, same with the TNG rifles. But if you made that of strong metal, it wouldn't be an issue because there's good connection points. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
And Barry says, yeah, but it's a rifle. You expect recoil. There's energy. There's nothing is blowing. Because remember, recoil is created because a gun is...
There's an explosion in the thing.
And the gas moves a piece back. The move back then puts a new round in. There's nothing happening in this process. You're pressing a button and lasers fire at the front. There's nothing happening anywhere else causing motion. Everything is internalized. It's like it's the difference between
It's like shooting a crossbow. Crossbows have no recoil.
Yeah, there's a motion, but it's not recoil.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's like a hard drive is a solid state hard drive. A hard drive is physically something moving inside it. SSD, you can do this with it, and it's all just digital. There's nothing happening physical. It's all data. Now, perhaps the famous space bazooka, which someone could put in for Insurrection, that might have recoil because potentially the energy expelled like has a backwash, like because you're projecting it faster, it's projecting back maybe, but then it's pushing you, not the gun is pushing you. But you know the effect could be similar. You're just recoiling back into the gun, so you could. But that's still like I would think they would design against that.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah.
That's why, like, when you watch TOS and they're firing their phasers, it's not because there's recoil. They just hold it straight and steady. There's no recoil at all. That's one of the, and you would expect it because of our monkey brains and how firearms work. So, but yeah,
and there's only one rifle that does that. And it's there's only one scene that has that sort of recoil, and it's entirely non-real. Star Trek 5, when Sulu's like going off a horse and he shoots up and he goes like, "Bleh." There's recoil. No, he's falling, but it feels like recoil.
Yeah.
Interesting. All
right, classic for real, $5. Being a major Nerf collector, I'd be remiss to neglect the Nerf CS6 Longshot. Even if destined F tier, but it's also the basis for a ton of sci-fi props.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're a big Nerf collector. That's interesting. Do you like Nerf, Stuart? I mean, I've been to your house. You haven't got any Nerf stuff as far as I could remember, but...
I do like Nerf guns. I don't really have any, but some people go crazy for it. A friend of mine, Owen, who actually owns a DeLorean time machine, has a wall of Nerf guns. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like the concept of Nerf, but I obviously slightly out-aged it.
Yeah.
But it would have been fun to shoot your friends in a way that the guns actually do more than not work, because some of them are really very effective. Although I feel like I'd get annoyed if I can shoot 7 times and then, well, you got to find the pellets. Cause
you got to go find the darts. Yeah.
It's more of a commitment, right? Whereas BB, it's like, oh, I can put 400 and just shoot them all and not worry about them at all. But they hurt, and believe me, I know. It's great though.
Airsoft hurts.
But it's a good kind of pain. I do think also Nerf. It's meant to look.
It's Nerf for nothing.
Oh, is that the catchphrase?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
From the 80s. It's Nerf for nothing.
That's pretty good. But I heard Nerf. It's there's such a fine line with parents must buy this for their children, so it must be silly looking as well as a gun, otherwise they will not buy. So everything has a slightly odd to it. You know, otherwise why can't you make like an MP5 Nerf? The colours that's why the alien rifle is so impressive. It is just a perfectly scaled alien rifle in Nerf. I kind of wish they had more, but then you'd factor into the opposite, where now it's a gun. Yeah. It's like, well, I'm buying it for okay. Yeah. But do you recognise this? Because I say recognise it from a few things.
I do, but I can't recall what that thing on the side. That's the slide. I remember something very iconic with somebody like laying down and doing that, but I cannot recall what it's from.
I remember the Terra Nova used them Nerf weapons primarily as like.
Terra Nova was great.
Yeah, it really was. Because it makes sense, right? I mean, just repaint them well. You know, you can paint them shittily and well. But I'm googling them. I can't find any specific. I'm not sure what to do necessarily, but. Them in things. I mean, like I said, Terra Nova is the big one I can think of. But hey, you buy your entire, gun budget in like $1,000. It's like, yep, that's all good. Give us a C. I mean, it's pretty good design. Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
C it is.
In iconic Star Trek phaser rifles, it's definitely a C.
Yeah, we're kind of going against the grain now. Sorry.
Hashtag don't think about it too hard.
Yep. I never do.
Who are you?
Exactly.
What?
Classic for real, $2 for victory. Samuel or Stuart and Sam. Okay, for victory.
Well, he got the 11, didn't he? So.
Yeah. Fleet Paw. $5. Zindi reptilian rifle has worms that power it and regrow and removed. They also use chemosite and self-destruct. Very dangerous.
Oh, use
Rifle.
keyboard slide. Oh, I forgot that. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, using organic slug things. And to be fair, it's a pretty cool looking design. It does feel almost like a dustbuster as well, though. Like one of the bigger vacuum, or like one of the stick vacs you can get. It's got that kind of handle and that kind of shape, like the canister. It's just missing the tube at the end. But no, I like the coloring. I like the shape. It feels very aquatic.
Yeah, yeah. But actually,
Yeah.
I would be totally fine that they designed it and slugs for reptilian add-on. Yeah, mixing stuff. They use the best of the races for each thing. Yeah, yeah.
It definitely has an aquatic look, just not only the shape, but also the color. Like I could see this being used in like Sequest DSV or something. And the emitter is quite unique as well. It's kind of like a wraparound thing. So, but yeah, I get vacuum vibes from it. And that's a thing, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a very... obviously, it's a unique piece, and it was actually a central plot point of an episode. So it actually had to be designed inside out, removable pieces, function, alien things. So it obviously has a really specialist. It's cool, but yeah, I said this on a live recently. We're currently building the NX1 corridor, and that was a really good episode because there's scenes where they shoot goo at the wall, and if you freeze frame, it gets to get close with the goo of the wall before the goo comes in, and there's a bit where Mako's hit, and you can see the ceiling in a way that's pretty unique. So that's a really good episode for that. So I've seen that quite recently. Yeah, those guys are vicious anyway. They can take blasts and they can shoot. It's a very appropriate weapon for them to have. But as soon as you said Hoover, it's yeah, that's like a portable Hoover repainted with a new emitter.
Yep. And I never clocked that until this moment. We've talked about it a lot, but usually it's a view from the side.
Yep.
And seeing this, it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly. I used to have one like that.
But it's wonderfully, I think it's the extra stuff, because to have the ability to shoot a little blob of goo at a wall and for it to pulse back at you is excellent. That's such a creative grenade thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great piece of tech, and it self-destructs too.
As you should. I self-destruct on the regular. So, all right. Classic for real, $5. Thanks for reminding me again, Sam. Insurrection Space Bazooka.
Oh, I missed that one. Yes.
We'll get to that in just a second. By the way, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. 46 likes. I'd like to get 4 more likes. Get to 50 would be great. And we have 41 votes in the poll. So again, 50 for the poll would be awesome. So go vote and choose wisely, because I'm watching you. And we have a new feature now. We can tell who voted for what.
And turns out if you give YouTube $1 a day, they give you home addresses, emails, $2 Social Security. We're not quite that rich, but
yeah, we know your real names, not your.
Although it's weird, names. Classic for real's name is Classic Johnson. I'm sure. His mum was like, "I'm gonna name him Classic because you know what? He's never gonna go out of style. At least for us, he doesn't." Back to you, Stuart, in the studio.
Thank you, Sam. All right, yeah, Space Bazooka. An odd thing, honestly. I do like the design of it. The shoulder mount looks very comfortable, honestly. We got the classic, green aiming reticle. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's a bazooka. And that's fine. What does it fire? I don't know. Is it plasma? Is it a photonic charge? Is it a quantum photonic charge? I don't know. Is it a tricobalt charge?
Jesus, Stuart. Stop going above and beyond the call of weapons. Everyone forgets about tricobalt. Don't mention it, otherwise people...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Goodness! It's actually quite a cool piece of kit, right? It's dumb, but of course it is. But imagine reading this, right? Okay, we're going on location. Okay. We need a bazooka. We had crickets. Little crickets that we had to abandon. Bazooka. What has happened to this? But right? And luckily, right, they came down with a ship. Because imagine, like, walking in the transporter room. Right, Mr. Worf, bring the right kit. And he walks in with a phaser rifle. He's got this giant bazooka. Like, what do you think you need that for? Just in case. Imagine lugging that around the mountains. Because it's pretty beefy.
Yeah. At
least to see, because it's pretty cool. In a stupid kind of literally one-shot kind of way. It'd be very useful, right? And if they could ever do an AI remaster of Best of Both Worlds, that's what Wolf beams down with. Fucking fires it. I like it. It's dumb. I like it.
You like it? It's dumb.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing, right?
All right. I'm going to reposition it a tad, though, so it fits in the chart better. And what did you say? A C? Yeah.
Yeah. I think. I said B. What did I say, guys? I've already forgotten.
I think you said C.
I have to erase it from my brain to keep going.
There it is. It's in C. Fits nicely now. Not really, but that's fine. All right. Barry F, $5. Does the TOS mortar from Arena count as a rifle? No, but I mean, neither does the bazooka. So, do we want to look at it? I don't know. Sure. Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant the one we looked at. Oh, sure.
No. He means the.
That I've done. I have to go find that. You do the next one, because I've got to
We'll
go find
it up in a second there, Barry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a normal thing I have to go find.
Benjamin Stone, 5 pounds. Suliban rifle carved from mahogany with a glue gun tip on the end. Oh no. How embarrassing.
And I've actually never seen this in terms I could not have told you this was a Suliban rifle until you told me it was a Suliban rifle.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Why is it awful?
The lack of detail, the color, the simplistic nature of that tip. This is just not
sometimes
great.
you just need just the tip, okay? Don't underestimate just the tip.
Hey, you know what? I'm all in.
No.
Balls deep every time.
You mean energy balls from the space bazooka, right?
Yes, obviously, but I mean the color lets this down. That being said, it is Suliban, and they looks like their skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
What is that thing beside it though?
No idea. Best picture I could find.
It's a D. I didn't even know Suliban had rifles.
That's what I mean. I'm sort of impressed that they went out of the way to make this, because I don't really remember it.
Yep.
Like it's well, okay. It looks like the Peacekeeper rifle from Farscape. Not necessarily what it looks like, but it's very similar. It's just dull. But also it's NX era phaser, which they've kind of been given future tech, but cannot. It's just a yeah.
I'm just gonna put it in D while you talk.
It's as boring as the Kazon one is, but for entirely different reasons. But I get it. Still boring.
Yes.
What was that? Oh yeah.
Wow. This is why we love doing these with you guys, because you pulled out shit that we would not think of. And yeah, Barry, we'll get yours in just a second here. We have 46 votes on the poll still, so nobody else has voted. 4 more votes if you can. And 2 more likes. 2 people I'm pretty sure having that like out there.
Also, I want to point out, not a single Star Trek Discovery design.
Oh no, the shark.
As I said, not a single Star Trek 2009 JJ verse design. As I said.
Gotcha.
Anything else you heard is just wrong. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And in fairness, there's actually a lot of rifles. I mean, if some of you are very tetchy and annoying, then you could argue like all the concept design, because there's actually a lot of concepts, because John tends to do like multiple concepts per thing, and so there's like multiple variants for the rifles, which like, oh, that's interesting. But I think we'll end the super chat bring-ins for classics.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Sam. So thank you. Mortar. It's a tube with eggshells.
Yep. It's an F.
It's not.
Sorry.
I wouldn't.
Sorry, Barry.
I would not mind if they, in Stranger Worlds, invented the proper version of this. Designed something. Because conceptually, bazooka, mortar, same thing, right? Like specialist, higher end tech. I would say it's more as a thing to destroy landmarks and shields, not people. You know, like we can't get through this rock, this mountain. We sure as hell aren't going to fire phasers from orbit. Yeah, it's space mortar. Yeah, okay. You know what? Yeah, I buy it.
Well, the mortar would be more for firing at people behind the mountain, because mortars go up.
I was thinking tool versus.
Oh no! Wow.
F for freaking awesome. Yes, Barry.
That's
That's good.
Very. His last name starts with an F, so he likes that. Barry freaking awesome is his real name.
They legally changed everything. Yeah.
Barry F with $2. Andorian rifle from Enterprise.
Silver one.
Yes. I was thinking. This looks like a toy.
That is yeah, I bet it's a 3-print fan one, but there aren't really very many reference pictures from the side. So take the design versus the actual physical build. Also, I want to show one with the blue, because it's meant to have blue in it. Other ones had just like a metal.
This looks more like a handgun, a sidearm, than a rifle.
Yeah, because
it's like a submachine gun almost, because it's
stocky.
Yeah.
With a stock. How different is the phaser? Oh, I mean, the phaser looks the same but without the stock, basically. I mean, do you even remember this really from the show?
I don't.
I know it exists, but that could be said for anything. You know, I know Stuart has dignity, but I haven't seen it. You know, we all know things exist. That's just for scale. I mean, it's pretty big. Yeah, I mean, even searching Andorian phaser Star Trek, you just do not really get pictures of it. That said, I was to take a picture and put it on, but I'm not really impressed. I'll say that.
Neither am I. I'm going to give this a D.
Yeah, no, it's more interesting than the suitable one, but it just looked a bit boring, and I'm not yeah.
Expect more from the Andorians being war.
But it does look like their ship. In fairness, like I can see it. Yeah. Doesn't really make it very interesting. Yeah.
Fleet Paw, $5. Mako rifle from Enterprise was such a good weapon. Reed preferred it over the Starfleet phase rifles of the period. I think they were pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Get that in just a second.
I'm a big fan of this one. I'm still pissed off that I own one, but it was a resin. No, it was a wood. It was actually a wood build, and it was built like 30% too big.
Yeah, I hate when they do that shit.
So it looks great until you hold it and it looks like garbage. And so as soon as I got it, I put it back in the box, and it's been in my attic for like 10 years, 15 years. And it's so sad because I really like the rifle. And then we held one physically, and it's so freaking small. It's so compact and neat. Like, it's kind of perfect. And like, it is too small, but for what it's trying to do, which is a fully like, this is unlike most things in these Trek things. It's actually a tactical weapon. It's not a tool, it's a gun. a multi-purpose sniper, scope, pulse gun, designed to be a weapon, right? It can't heat metal. It is a gun. Pretty awesome. Fits the bill, I think.
It does. I'm not a fan of these, as you know.
But the rifle better than the phaser, though. The pulse.
Yeah, slightly. Yes. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the shape of the handles. I don't like a lot of the stuff on it. It just feels like too much going on. I like the idea that the sight pops up and goes down. That's cool.
But wouldn't you say now the shell in this way bounces better?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I prefer this to the hand one for sure.
I really want a proper replica, and it pisses me off that, yeah. I want to give this a B because I think it's a really nice. I really liked holding it. It's super, way smaller than you think. Yeah, I really liked it. Even the stock's just literally two pieces of metal, but it is like you could build this in only a couple of years, right? It's super right there.
Yeah,
I think it should be a B. And I kind of like, and I always like it an A, but there's creativity beyond because this is like I said, so realistic.
Yes.
Although it actually is quite similar to the TNG one. Like if you look at there's a lot of vibe there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
All right. Well, Classic for Real's last thing is $2. Thanks, Sam, which we already talked about. So thank you, Classic for Real. Thank you, everyone that was here to watch and super chat. We've got 50 likes now, and we have 51 votes. So you guys came through for everything. Let's close out this poll.
Yeah.
Is the TOS phaser rifle? Iconic, yes. 67% I win. Don't like it. Sorry, Stuart. 20% of you are going to
Stovercore?
No, they're going to get some excrement sent to their house in a box. And then 14% said it was okay. I'm kidding, of course.
Not that it's possible, but in a world where we were Q, I would give every one of the 51 of you a physical prop and rejudge after you physically hold it.
Yes.
Right?
We'll have to go to a convention some year, many years from now. Trekyards booth, have all of the props available and be like, now try it. Classic for real. Come here. Get over here. Yes. Hold this. What do you think?
You're now in the hot seat. You're going to review everything. You're going to rank. Go. Yeah. Dear me. Well, it would be interesting if we were at a con and I had every version, and then people rank it, and then we have point value, and then we average out, and we combine everything and say, actually, what is the S to F of these props based on aggregate scores? Yeah. All right, what are we doing tomorrow, Stuart, in our third live of the week?
TNG Season 6 episodes. Come join us. Let us know your favorites, your least favorites, whatever. You guys determine what we talk about, and we will rank them on the tier list. It's always fun discussion, and we love hanging out with you guys. I kind of like hanging out with Sam. He's fine some days.
Thanks, man. You too. Some days. And next week, probably starting DS9, Season 1, which we've never reviewed in any formal way. So that'll be our first dip into that pond. Yeah, it's going to be harder to delineate the episodes, though, because it's more serialized. It'd be hard to tell what happens specifically in each one sometimes, so... I'm actually quite excited for 5, 6, and 7, because we'll judge them actually as pieces, and they might get some Ds, because the individual piece might not be as good as the whole, because that's not what we're judging. Yeah. I'm interested, right? All right. So, yeah, join us next week, and tomorrow, of course, and until then... He is Captain Foley! Perfect. Hey! And he's some British guy. He owns 2 rifles. Oh, and the big one. 3. Otherwise known, a.k.a. as Commander Cock. Hello. Until tomorrow. Bye, guys.